What happens when the galaxy's deadliest bounty hunter returns for one final mission, with the most powerful child in the universe by his side? Today, we are diving deep into The Mandalorian and Grogu, the biggest Star Wars adventure yet. This movie is filled with massive space battles, dangerous Imperial warlords, emotional father-son moments, and shocking force powers. So sit back, grab your popcorn, and let's enter hyperspace. The story begins years after the fall of the Empire. The New Republic is trying to restore peace across the galaxy, but chaos still exists everywhere. Pirates attack innocent planets, criminal syndicates control trade routes, and deep in the shadows, surviving Imperial leaders are secretly rebuilding their power. Meanwhile, Djarin continues working as a bounty hunter. But this time, his life is different. He's no longer fighting only for survival. He's fighting for family. Din and Grogu now live together, peacefully on a remote planet. Din trains Grogu every single day. He teaches him combat, survival, and the Mandalorian code. But Grogu also continues growing stronger with the Force. Now he can levitate heavy objects, sense danger, and even stop enemy attacks. Still, Grogu remains adorable. He steals food, presses random ship buttons, and causes chaos everywhere he goes. These moments give the movie a perfect balance of emotion and comedy. One day, Din receives an urgent message from the New Republic. A powerful officer reveals shocking news. Rota, the Hutt, son of Jabba the Hutt, has disappeared, and now multiple criminal organizations are searching for him. If the wrong people find Rota first, a massive gang war could destroy entire systems. At first, Din refuses the mission, but then the officer reveals something terrifying. She believes a hidden Imperial warlord kidnapped Rota, and this same warlord has been experimenting with cloning technology, forbidden weapons, and Force-sensitive blood. The moment Din hears that, he immediately thinks about Grogu. Din and Grogu travel across dangerous worlds, searching for clues. One of the first locations is a giant underground city filled with smugglers and bounty hunters. The city looks incredible. Neon lights glow everywhere. Aliens crowd the streets, and danger hides around every corner. When Din starts asking questions about Rota, several bounty hunters suddenly attack him. What follows is one of the movie's best fight scenes. Din uses flamethrowers, blasters, and hand-to-hand combat. Meanwhile, Grogu secretly helps from the background using the Force. He steals enemy weapons, pushes attackers through walls, and even saves Din's life. Throughout the movie, Grogu begins experiencing mysterious Force visions. He sees flashes of the past, the fall of the Jedi, Order 66, and strange Imperial experiments. These visions guide Din and Grogu toward ancient Jedi ruins hidden across forgotten planets. Inside one ruined temple, Grogu touches an ancient artifact, and suddenly, he experiences a terrifying vision. He sees the Imperial warlord building an army using cloning technology, and somehow, Grogu is connected to it. One of the biggest action scenes happens on a dangerous desert planet. Din discovers that the Hutt is being transported through the desert by mercenaries. So Din launches an ambush. What follows is absolute chaos. Jetpacks fly across the battlefield. Speeders explode. Blaster fire fills the air, and giant sand creatures emerge beneath the ground. At one point, a massive explosion nearly destroys Din's ship, but Grogu stops giant falling debris using the Force. This scene proves Grogu is becoming incredibly powerful. Eventually, Din finally finds Rota, but the movie surprises everyone here. Rota isn't a villain. He's terrified. He reveals that the Imperial warlord kidnapped him to manipulate the Hutt cartel. The villain wants to unite criminals, pirates, and Imperial survivors into one massive army, and if he succeeds, the Empire could rise again. The emotional moments in this movie are surprisingly powerful. One night beside a campfire, Din admits he fears losing Grogu someday. He worries Grogu may eventually leave him to become a Jedi, but Grogu quietly places his hand on Din's armor. It's a simple moment, but it says everything. They are family. Halfway through the movie, the Imperial warlord launches a devastating attack. A New Republic base is completely destroyed. Star destroyers emerge from hyperspace. TIE fighters swarm through the skies, and giant explosions tear entire ships apart. This sequence feels exactly like classic Star Wars. Din and Grogu barely survive. The villain eventually captures Grogu. He tells Grogu that his powers could bring order to the galaxy. And for a brief moment, Grogu gives in to anger. Dark energy explodes around him. He unleashes a massive Force shockwave that destroys part of the facility. This moment is terrifying, because for the first time, we see how dangerous Grogu could become. But Din reaches him just in time, and brings him back from the darkness. The final act becomes a full-scale war. Din teams up with Mandalorians, New Republic soldiers, and unexpected allies. They attack the Imperial fortress, hidden deep within a volcanic planet. The visuals here are absolutely insane. Ships explode in orbit, Mandalorians fly through fire, and blaster fights happen everywhere. Finally, Din confronts the Imperial Warlord inside the fortress. The fight is brutal. They use flamethrowers, blasters, vibroblades, and hand-to-hand combat during the battle. The villain activates a catastrophic weapon. The entire fortress begins exploding. Everyone is trapped. And then, Grogu does something unbelievable. He uses the Force on a scale we've never seen before. He holds back the explosion long enough for everyone to escape, but the effort nearly kills him. For the first time in the movie, Din completely panics. He's terrified of losing Grogu. After the fortress is destroyed, the galaxy finally gains temporary peace. The New Republic celebrates victory, but Din refuses rewards or fame. He only cares about Grogu. Eventually, Grogu wakes up safely, and in the final scene, Din and Grogu leave, once again, for new adventures, as their ship disappears into hyperspace. The movie reminds us that their story is far from over. The post-credit scene teases the future of Star Wars. A mysterious figure discovers hidden Imperial cloning research, and nearby, a dark Sith-like artifact begins glowing. This strongly hints that an even greater threat is coming. So that was the full breakdown of The Mandalorian and Grogu. What did you think about the movie? Did Grogu, almost turning to the dark side, shock you? And what do you think happens next? Comment your theories below. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel.